My name is Shail Manchanda. It's actually Shailendra Manchanda, but most people call me Shail Manchanda. I came around 92, 93. I don't know if I should claim it as I came in Sahaja Yoga because I was still exploring. My intentions were to prove it wrong. So my mom was the first one. She started doing Sahaj, and she's a doctor. And whenever she used to do bandhan, raise the kundalini and do all this in front of all the patients, I used to kind of mock her and tell her, "Mom, this is funny. Your patients are going to make mockery out of it, and you will become the talk of the town, doing all these actions in front of all everyone." And couple months, Shri Mataji was planning to visit Delhi. She asked me, let's go there, let's get your realization. And I was totally opposing it. I said, nope, I don't want anything to do with this. That very day, the driver decided to not show up. And my mom said, this is my order. You have to drive and take me there. I just said, I'll be just driving you. And since the driver was supposed to take 100 rupees, I'm half engineer, so I'll take 50 rupees. So we all agreed on the terms and everything was settled. My cousin was also there with us. Eventually, we reached there as agreed on. Me and my cousin started enjoying outside street vendors around the big, huge pandal where there were lots of people. And Shri Mataji was planning to come. All of a sudden started pouring heavily, and there was no other option for us to take shelter inside the pandal. My mom was way in the back. There was a separate entrance for people and there was a separate entrance for Shri Mataji. So in that rush, we all ran through the same entrance from where Shri Mataji was supposed to come, and we sat right in the front. Maybe within 2 or 3 minutes later, we announced Shri Mataji's now arrived. Whole weather changed. Rain stopped, lights started coming, and it was like the clouds disappeared and we stood up and Shri Mataji arrived. And out of curiosity, I thought, okay, let me see, She told all of us to sit down and we sat down, and then she sat and she started talking about Sahaj. And then she started blowing air through the microphone and she blew it for quite some time. And that's when I thought, I'm the smarter one and I will expose all this.
और राइट हैंड से आप देखें कि आप एक तालू से जो कि एक क्लिक दूसरा.
And she started asking to check on top of your head with right hand and then with left hand. I did check and I didn't feel anything to anything. And I asked my cousin, do you feel anything? He said, nothing. And he said, let's just not waste time. There's no rain outside. Let's go. I stood up and all of a sudden Shri Mataji said, sit down. Everybody's in deep meditating and you're disturbing everyone. And I don't know if she was talking to me because it was from a distance, and but I was halfway up and I just said, I felt like she insulted me in front of the whole crowd and my face turned red. I gave my wallet out to my cousin. I said, you go, I'll come later. And I sat down, and then she looked really compassionately and really, with as if her eyes were directly looking at me. And she said, check again. I started checking and I checked with right hand, automatically with left hand. And again, I kept checking, and few seconds later, it was so strong that I could feel cool here and something rotating here. And few seconds later, it was here, eyebrows, on the ears, on the chin, on forehead. I felt that I'm not in a body or something. And I got really scared. I opened like this and looked, everybody was still here. And she was there and she was, like acknowledging that I have it, and she knows it that I have it, and I have it really strongly, and she knew it, and she kept moving her head and smiling. She just pushed her hair back as if her job was done.
हमारा सबको अनंत आशीर्वाद और प्रेम।
Right after Pandal, after this happened, my mom asked me, "How was it?" I said, "I feel from here, from here, from here, and it's very soothing, very relaxing." She said, "You're lucky you got all this. I've been waiting for 6 months, and then I got this, and you got instantly. You're so lucky." I was still very arrogant, I couldn't believe this happening. For a few days or weeks, I kept experimenting around to prove it wrong. The next morning is when I started reading hypnotism books. There was a very strong hypnotizer, P.C. Sarkar. His book said that 48 hours is the maximum any hypnotizer can hypnotize you. And I was like, okay, I'll wait 48 hours. Meanwhile, this was at that point becoming so much that I had to put my hands onto the gas stove flame and try to warm it. The more I used to do that, instead it would warm up, but as soon as I take off of gas flame, it would ooze out even more. Being a second year engineer student, I started thinking maybe high pressure outside and low pressure inside. What theory would fit in really well in this situation? It went on. And then next week we went to a meditation meeting, West Delhi campus, and Dr. Mathur used to conduct those meetings, and he told me after the meditation session, he will work on me and he will check on it. And I really desperately wanted somebody to check on it and tell me what's going on, because it had passed 48 hours and was still there. Kept explaining me about Sahaj and kept explaining me about chakras. And I kept telling him, I just don't want it. Just get me out of it. After that, for a couple days, it stopped. Then I realized that the joy with it was much more. Without it, I don't feel so good. That instant gave me a belief that there is some science and logic in this, and I should explore it. By that time, it was time to go back to Nagpur to complete my college degree. And I was packing my bags and ready to go back to college. And then there's a whole new journey started in Nagpur.